Have you seen how expensive store-bought backpacking meals can be? Well, today I'm going to show you a inexpensive and simple way to make your own backpacking meals for under $1.50 a meal. And you're watching Andy Parrish Outdoors. Well, hey everybody, Andy here, and thanks for joining me today. And today we're talking about do-it-yourself backpacking meals and how do you save some money so that you're not having to shell out huge dollar amounts for, weekend backpacking trips, week-long backpacking trips, at $6, $8, $13 a meal. To go buy, a pre-packaged store-bought meal can get pretty pricey pretty quickly. So I wanted to show you one of my favorite options for a do-it-yourself backpacking meal for under $1.50 for a 550 calorie meal. Well, if you're new to this channel is all about backpacking and outdoor adventures, gear, tips and tricks, a whole range of different things. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell. That way you can be alerted every time I post new content. And there's a lot of great content coming. But let's get to today's topic and talk a little bit about saving money with a do-it-yourself backpacking recipe. Now, let me start by saying this meal is meant to be prepared just with a Ziploc freezer bag and boiling water. So all the ingredients are pre-prepared, ready to go, so that when I'm out backpacking, I literally just have to fire up my stove, measure out the appropriate amount of water and rehydrate this meal directly in that Ziploc bag. So previously I did a video on buffalo chicken and barbecue chicken, doing a wrap. I'm gonna link that video up above. So if you wanna go see that idea, you can go check that out. But today we're gonna talk about just a bean and cheese burrito mix, how simple and easy it is to put it together yourself. Now, all of these ingredients you can find online already dehydrated. Now, that may push the price a little bit higher than if you do it yourself, but they're all available out there on the internet if you want to go to Amazon. I'll leave a link of some options down in the descriptions below, so go check those out. These are ones that you can already get pre-dehydrated, so you literally are just buying them, mixing the appropriate percentages, and then you're off and running. But this recipe today, we're going to specifically talk about an ingredient list that you can put into a dehydrator to dehydrate your own, because it's even cheaper if you do it yourself. Now, the first ingredient on my list is a can of black beans. I typically use just the Kroger brand, unsalted. We'll rinse them off and then put them directly into my dehydrator. Typically it goes between 6 and 8 hours at about 125 degrees. Depending on the humidity in your house, it may be a little shorter, a little longer, but I just check that after about 6 hours and it's good to go. One can will make 4 servings of black beans. The second ingredient on my list is just Kroger fat-free refried beans. The fat-free variety tends to last a little bit longer in storage without going bad, so I prefer that. And again, one can makes 4 different servings. I can put it into my dehydrator between 6 and 8 hours at 125 degrees, does the trick. The third ingredient is the jasmine instant rice. I prefer this. The instant rice is pre-cooked, so it's pre-cooked and already dehydrated for you. So it's ready to go to just throw the right proportion into the bag and take it out into the backcountry. I will also use taco seasoning. You can either buy in the packet size straight from the store. You can buy larger quantities like I've bought at Costco. Lots of different options out there. Just a good taco seasoning mix. Now, I also like to add cheese powder, which is just a dehydrated cheddar to my mix. You can usually, add a little bit of flavor. And the nice thing about the cheese powder is it has a very long shelf life, so you don't have to worry about refrigerating it. It's good to go for backcountry use. Now, to add the final touches, I love to bring a little bit of Cholula to just add on top. It just brings out the flavor. It's a great addition, and you can find packets of this around on the internet. Some stores, restaurants will also have this too, so keep an eye out for that. I just bought it straight off of Amazon. Now, my final ingredient is optional. It's just a tortilla. Some people love to just eat this mix straight out of the bag. Some people like to make it into a burrito style. When I bring a tortilla, I like to bring the smaller, either the street taco or the fajita size. They're just a little more portable, easier to fit into a bear bag, into a bear canister. And there's lots of great options. This is one that I use, and it's a good way to add, another little bit of calories on top of what you've already got. Once you have all the ingredients lined up, here's how you put it all together. You start with half a cup of the rice, a quarter cup of the black beans, a quarter cup of the refried beans, and that'll give you your base, your start. I typically add 2 teaspoons of the taco seasoning mix. I add 2 tablespoons of the cheese powder, and I throw in a packet of the Cholula. And then I decide if I want to bring a tortilla or not, and I'm all set. That's it. Now, I will say that it's up to you to decide how much taco seasoning that you want. I've played with that a little bit. You may want to add more. You may want to leave a little bit out. It's completely up to you, and that's the great part about this. You can control the mix of ingredients, but try this first way and let me know what you think, and post it in the comments below. Or if you have a similar, bean and cheese burrito kind of mix, what does yours look like? Is it similar to this, or do you have some big differences? Love to hear other options and ideas out there. Now, when I'm looking to rehydrate this meal, I add 1 cup of boiling water into that Ziploc freezer bag, and usually wait about 10 minutes, and you should be ready to go. Now, if you decide to bring the tortillas, the total meal in the portions that I've given you add up to 550 calories roughly. So it's a great, dinner size portion for when you're out backpacking, but you can customize and tweak if you wanted to make it a little bit heavier, or if you want to make it a little bit lighter. That's completely up to you. And the total price per serving comes in at just under $1.50 for this list of ingredients, which is pretty awesome. Now, if you're finding this useful, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. It really helps me and it helps the channel, and I greatly appreciate all the support. Now, this proportion of ingredients for the mix itself comes to right around 4.5 ounces. If you decide to bring the tortillas, the smaller fajita size are just over an ounce each. So I often will bring 2. I think it comes to like 2.2 ounces for the tortillas, and about 4.5 ounces for the bean, cheese, rice mix. I got to give my shout out to Johnny for giving me the base of this recipe, and then I've just taken it and run with it and added a few different things to make it my own. But she was the one that got me started on this idea, and it's such a simple and easy backpacking meal that I had to share it. And that's it. That's my super easy and inexpensive bean and cheese burrito mix for on trail, the do-it-yourself variety where you control the ingredients, and the cost is only about $1.50 a serving. You can't beat that, especially when you compare it to 13 bucks for a prepackaged meal. So thanks so much for watching. Until next time, be well. Have you seen one is, so if you want to go check that out,